something pretty satisfying about assembling one of your breeding herds. So this is a group of Berkshire GOS crosses. Our boar over there came from a different group. He was from the same farm that we got our big breeders from, but he's got different parents. And then all of these gilts, all 7 of them, they're all siblings by the same boar. I think they have 2. They might be from 3 different litters, but good stock. He's a little bit older than they are, but they're all. I think the youngest one in here is like 8 or 9 months old, so they're all plenty old enough to be in the breeder group. And we've got this one here is one of the older ones, and she was bred right away, so she's probably a month and a half out. And then this girl was bred pretty quickly. Papa said it's his turn, but she was bred pretty early on, so she's probably about a month and a half out. And then the rest of these are a little bit further behind, but they're coming on. 8 months to 11 months old in here. The biggest ones are probably 275. We could have pushed to grow them out a little bigger. We kind of like to keep our breeders at a reasonably slow grow rate. Just feel that it kind of keeps them from getting sloppy and laying on their piglets, and especially when you're doing pasture farrowing, I think it helps prevent loss. We've seen only a couple of our sows have been kind of bad about rollovers and whatnot. We're trying to avoid all the conventional farrowing crates and things that are really restrictive of the pigs. Like letting them go out here, and besides this fence, everything's pretty natural for them. Now we tote the water to them. We give them extra bedding because they clean these pastures up quick. They're going to be moving up here relatively soon to the next level, so they can. One of our other paddocks is getting noisy, but we're going to move them up there so they can clean that one up. And all of this was so thick you could barely walk through it. And now we just need to pull some of the thicker brush out, and this is almost silvopasture. We just need to take a couple of trees out, and it would be, pretty nice pasture down through here, which is the ultimate goal. And then we're going to plant behind them clover, alfalfa, even some fescue, just so they have more stuff to eat the next time they're back in here, and keep them rotating. But this is the start of a breeder group. No piglets obviously yet out of this group, but these 7 will be a long time productive family on our farm. And got a little bit of hate for one of my shorts for talking about our boars and the fact that so far we haven't had any issues. This boar is proven. He's had a few litters, and he lived with 2 of his litters for a long time. And out of our 7 boars, we only have 2 that have not been proven and lived with their offspring. But it's actually pretty good. It's out here, like I said, everything except for the electric fence is natural for them out here. So in the wild, these pigs would not be separating the boar from the group when they farrow. So it's I think a much higher quality of life for them, for their offspring, and frankly, that big guy right there is a nice level of protection. He sounds the alarm whenever something comes up that he doesn't like, and he's starting to grow some cutters, and I think he's going to be a nice papa doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Now, if one of them turns mean, then we'll react appropriately. We're not just going to let one of our boars, destroy our breeder groups, But so far, we've been very fortunate. We've had a very good success rate with our pigs taking care of one another and whatnot. So, if you decide to get out into pasture raising pigs, I encourage you to keep an eye on it, because I have heard horror stories, but our experience so far has been monitored pretty closely, and our boars have not been an issue, especially this guy right here. He is our original boar. Believe it or not, he's right around 2 years old. He's not very old. He's had over a dozen litters at this point that have come from him, and he's about 450 pounds. Big old cutters on him. You can kind of see his lips sticking out a little bit there. but of course she's gonna block the shot. But he's our pool boy. He is a good boar, super friendly, and like I said, there's piglets over on the other side. They're just hanging out with him. He is relatively nurturing. I've seen those pigs laying on his head while he's resting in the mud wallow, and he just kind of goes with the flow, regardless of what's going on with these ladies. So we're any day now on a bunch of them with some new litters. These babies in here are ready to be weaned. They're eating grain and corn, and they're happy as can be. So we're gonna get them. That mama's tossing them. That's my corn. That's also pretty common. It looks really harsh to us, but piglets obviously don't care, and they come right back to it. But they're about to be weaned, and they'll be finding greener pasture soon enough. We got several of them spoken for. But anyway, I just thought that was something that you might be interested in. New group of pigs, and then of course the boars are they're vital, I think, when you're pasture raising. I mean, we've got bears, fisher cats, coyotes. I've done some videos on the coyotes. We've had some issues occasionally with loss from them, and these guys are a pretty good deterrent. It would take a pretty sizable bear to back that guy down. Of course, these sows are all the bred ones are probably 500 pounds, but their normal weight is probably 375 to 400, and so that's a good sized group, which definitely helps. But big boy over there is an awesome daddy and a good protector.